If you're a jazz violinist, chances are you're probably playing, or you probably have played, a lot of the music of Django Reinhardt and Stefan Grappelli. And if that's the case, you're probably playing quite a lot in a minor key. And often it's hard to know what to do when we see these minor chords. Sure, we can play around with the harmonic minor scale or natural minor scales, but there are a bunch of other things that we can do to get that Django and Stefan sound into our playing. In this little excerpt of one of my recent live streams for my Patreon people, by the way, if you want to get involved in my Patreon, you can check out the link in the description below. I chat a little bit about how we can use minor 6 chords to our advantage. Hope you enjoy. We've spoken about some of the theories behind some of these chords. Now let's look at my my etude I wrote. Let's look at the first little bit. Now, right, so this first little line, we're not going to look at all the lines, we're going to pick some of them. This first line, sort of aiming, it's focusing on the major 6 over a minor chord. So this is what we were talking about, major 6s over minor chords earlier, when we were talking about the B section, but this is something that we can do in the A section as well. In a way, we could say that we're using that Dorian sound over the G minor. Now, that's not exactly what's happening here. I'm not exactly thinking about Dorian so much when I'm playing this or when I've written this, but it is to some degree using some of the same ideas as Dorian, in that it has a major 6 over a minor chord. So this is what I mean about being really sort of pointed with what we do. You know, I've spoken about all that theory just now in that first section of this stream, but actually now we're taking little points of that theory and putting it into practice in this etude. Major 6. You know, we've taken that idea of, hey, I can use a Dorian sound, or I can use a melodic minor sound over a G minor chord or over a minor chord, and I've taken one aspect of it, the major 6, and I've turned it into a lick. It's basically major 6 and then the arpeggio of a G minor triad. I quite like this sound. Basically, it's quite a strong sound. I'm playing a minor 6 chord. I'm playing the notes of a minor 6 chord. A minor 6 chord is a minor triad with a major 6 on the top of it, and that's what this line is made up of. It's also the same as an E. The G minor 6 chord is exactly the same as an E minor 7 flat 5 chord. So you can think about it like that as well. Thinking about it like that makes you accent that major 6 a little bit more. So if you see a G minor, you can think, oh, E minor 7 flat 5. That's sort of what's happening there. It's a very Django thing to do. So you could take that line and you could try and... It's quite easy to do it down there actually. So you could take that exact line and transpose it to work over the C minor. So you've got that line over the G minor and the line over the C minor. So you can improvise over the rest of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, makes some sense there. I was trying to improvise using those lines over the minor chords and then just improvising with whatever I want to over the rest of it. Got a little thumbs up there, which is great. It's a classic, that, just a random thumbs up out of nowhere.